So after school, if you have the opportunity to move back home to Africa, is this something you're gonna do?
Yes!
But why? Why?
There's money in Africa.
You're very beautiful.
Thank you. It's
Beautiful.
beautiful.
I said prettyful. So it
Thank
means
you. It's
like
a bridge. That's okay. I
yeah, like
understand.
putting
I get you. You don't have to explain it.
beauty and pretty together.
Oh my
Prettyful.
gosh. Clock it.
You've been watching that rant. That rant and bands.
Anything you say, I'm full of lies. I'm full of life. Clock it. I'm like, hey. Clock it. Okay, let's go.
Alright, sure. Alright guys, welcome back to another exciting video. In today's video, we want to have a conversation about life as an international student here in Canada. Okay? Are you on the same page?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm here with
Pamela.
what's your full
I'm
name?
sure you already know the girl, but like Pamela, to me, I'm always behind the camera, but today I have to be in front of the lens. Anyways, shall we begin?
Alright, so Pamela, can you tell me a brief about yourself? Like, can you give me your background?
Okay, I'm Ghanaian by birth, but I grew up in Togo. For those who are close to me, I'm sure they already know. And I attended school in Ghana for like most part of my life. Yeah,
Okay.
that's basically it.
So where did you have your elementary school?
Elementary school in Ghana, Rainy Educational Center. It's in Abekala Pass.
What about secondary school?
Same Ghana. My GHS was an international school in Togo, but I later transferred to Ghana and then SHS Ghana, University Ghana.
Okay, so
And now I'm
how many-
currently in Canada.
No, we'll get to Canada. But how many years were you in Togo?
Um in Togo I would say a solid 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say solid 10 years.
Was it like 10 years in Togo or it's just back to like back and forth Togo, Ghana?
Yes. But I was there permanently for like 5 years. And then the rest were like back and forth,
okay.
vacation and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so what about your university education?
Ghana.
Ghana. Which university?
UPSA.
I know. We went to the same school actually.
Yeah.
All right, so we actually want to have a conversation about life, your life now in Canada as an international student. And before we go into it, can we have a conversation about like where you've been to, how was life growing up as a child, your travel experiences and all of that?
Well, I wouldn't go too much into details, but before Canada, I've had like a couple of travel experiences, so it wasn't really a huge transition for me. But coming into Canada has been an eye opener. I won't lie.
At what point in your life did you decide to move from Ghana to Canada?
I've always wanted to come to school in Canada. I think it was already in my plans as I was pursuing my degree, my bachelor's degree, but I wasn't sure when I was gonna move. The plan was to move immediately after school, but things just came in the way, and God finally made a way for me to go after my NSS.
Okay.
Not immediately after, a couple of years after that. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So, how has it been here in Canada for you?
Well, like I said, it's been an eye opener. It wasn't like a huge transition for me because I've had an experience, outside Ghana. I've traveled around, but having to stay at a place is different from visiting a place. So it's was quite tough, finding means to make life work for you it was a bit challenging in the beginning, but yeah, God has been good.
Yeah, how long have you been here?
A year, almost a year.
Okay,
May
so-
makes it 1 year.
Okay, so can you tell me some of the differences in terms of before we go into school and then explore school, some of the differences in living, comparing it to living in Ghana and living in Canada? What are some of your experiences?
I would say for sure that Canada appreciates hand skills better than Ghana.
What does that mean?
So if you have a handy skill like braiding, sewing, anything labor, handwork, Canada appreciates it better than Ghana because you are able to like set your own prices, you're able to like build your own clientele base, you're your own boss. But in Ghana, you do that, but it's just that like you charge little for it, and people don't really it's almost like it's always like readily available, and there's a lot of market. There's an influx of markets for that. But here, it's hard to come by, and before you do anything, you have to book and some plenty things. So it is like the scarcity makes it more valuable. You get so if you have like these hand skills, bring them here. You would really have, like you it would really help you. So I think that's one thing I have appreciated about Canada, because I didn't think I would be a braider, but this is me braiding.
Okay, so you do braiding on a part time.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So now let's talk about school. I mean, you've had most of your education in Africa, right? In Ghana and in Togo. What is the difference between education here in Canada and then back home in Africa?
Education here in Canada, I would say, is more hands on. It's less of the theory and more of like, how do you apply it in a real life? Like, over the years, over like the trends, how do you apply these things? How do you think this has affected? So it makes you more realistic. You are not just reading textbook definition and stuff. That's one thing I've noticed as well. And there's pressure, but there's less pressure. You are not pressured to study. You're not pressured to, oh, this exam is this. There's a deadline, but you have to, like, you are always given that leniency to make it work for yourself. But it puts like some, push you, and it's more pressure for like we the immigrants, because we are not used to that system of studies. We are more like theoretical, chew and pour. But here you have to practice it. You have to put yourself in a situation to be able to make your professor happy with your your inputs.
Your input.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you studying?
I'm currently studying masters in business administration.
What's the name of your university?
International Business University,
Okay, where is it located?
downtown Toronto.
Toronto. Okay, so you always commute from home. Do you stay?
Yeah.
Do you stay in Toronto?
I stay in Brampton.
Okay, so commuting from home to Toronto, isn't it hectic for you?
In the beginning, it was, because I would
Yeah.
have to take, the bus, the train, and then a subway, then a bus, or just walk. But I've gotten used to the routine, so I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah.
All right. So, in terms of transportation, do you think Canada gives out the best of public transportation
Well,
to
yeah,
residents?
to students,
Because
yes.
a lot of people have cars, and comparing to places like Europe and London, where you don't really need car to. Okay, I've been to England, right? And then I don't think if you live in London, you need a car, because there's no place for even parking, right? Easy access to buses and trains. Is it the same in Canada?
Well, in some areas, I would say that, because where I stay, buses don't come every day.
Okay.
So I have to like schedule my class for days that I know I'll find buses, and schedule my time for like the times that I know the buses are like readily, available. But I think it's more lenient on students, because you pay less as compared to somebody that is like working, or somebody on a working permit. So yeah, I would say it's good.
Okay. What are some of the challenges you face as an international student here in Canada?
You get lost on your first few days. You would always get lost. The map would mislead you, or you mislead yourself with the map. Yeah. But as an international student, challenges, aside getting used to the system that takes a few, months to get adjusted to, I I don't think there is any challenge. Aside, okay, yeah, there is financial challenges as well, like footing your bills, taking care of school, and also meeting deadlines when you're not really abreast with what's going on in class, because you have to, like, make money and make school work. So it's not always, you always need to find a balance. It's not always that easy, but I mean, once you find your balance, you're good.
Right. So after school, if you have the opportunity to move back home to Africa, is this something you're gonna do?
Yes.
But why? Why?
There's money in Africa. You just need to find how. Like, you just need to find your gold mine. There's money in Africa, 100%. There are so many things you can do in Africa to make your money. Here, I believe the system works in such a way that you work to pay off your bills, and I don't think that's the life for me, really.
Okay. But would you ever say you regret coming to Canada?
No, at all. It's like, it's an experience. I love it, and I know there is more for me to like discover, like, along the line, and I'm here for it.
Okay. But Pamela, maybe someone is watching you and wants to make Canada the next destination, the next dream home, right? A lot of people, a lot of Africans are dreaming to come here. What would be your advice as per your 1 year experience? What would be your advice for such people?
My advice: just be sure that's what you want, really, and plan for it, because it's not easy. People tell you when you come, you get a job. When you there's no job waiting for you, my sister. There's no job waiting for you. You need to make it work for yourself. Learn something, like I said, learn a few skills. Sew something, braid hair, do just microblading. There are so many things you can learn, right? So learn those things and come in like ready for whatever comes your way. There's no job waiting for you. There's no job in Canada
Okay.
at this point.
Okay,
So, and even aside that, get your finances straight. The few couple of like 2 months, 3 months, you need to be able to pay out of pocket, because there's no clients waiting for you to come to Canada before. You need to like foot those bills before you start building your clientele. You start, getting people to trust your skill and your work. So yeah, you just put in the work and pray. Pray. Because it's shaggy. It is shaggy. And yeah, the last thing is pay attention to immigration news, because this is what puts you in the right footing with the law. So those are the things that I think you should consider when moving into a different country: money, skill, immigration, and God. You'll be
All
fine.
right. So, Pamela, in some months to come, right? You'll be done with school. What is next for you?
Life, life, baby.
So you don't really have like a current plan.
Well, I wouldn't, even if I have a solid plan, I'm not going to put it out there. But yeah, I believe life is waiting for me. Good life is waiting for me. Just stay tuned. You see.
All right, sure, sure. Thank you very much for your time. I
Thank
appreciate it.
you to Albert.
You have a good sense of humor. Can you please tell my subscribers to subscribe to this
Oh
YouTube
yeah,
channel?
don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. We need the engagement on this page to, make waves. We have something new coming for you guys. So like stay tuned. Stay tuned. Share to your friends. Tell your friends to come on Albert's Enum Studio or Albert's Enum
It's
Podcast.
just the Anum Studios.
Hey, sorry, the Anum Studios.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate
Anyways,
it.
thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.